The World Legacy storyline continues with the latest Yu-Gi-Oh! Set, Dark Neostorm, and with it comes two new very powerful cards for the so far pretty underpowered Orcust Archetype. Hello YouTube, I am Dylan the Shadal Duelist, and today we are going to take a look at Sheorcust Dingirsu and Orcustrated Climax. Sheorcust Dingirsu is a rank 8 Dark Machine type Xyz monster with 2600 attack and 2100 defense that requires 2 level 8 monsters to be summoned, with the following effect. You can only special summon Sheorcust Dingirsu once per turn. You can also Xyz summon this card by using an Orcust Link monster you control as material. If this card is special summoned, you can activate one of these effects. Send one card your opponent controls to the graveyard, or attach one of your banished machine monsters to this card as material. If a card or cards you control will be destroyed by battle or card effect, you can detach one material from this card instead. Now, looking at this card at face value, without taking anything beyond its effects and stats into consideration, this is a really good card. Another generic rank 8 is always nice to have in the game, since some of the options for decks that have access to such monsters can be, well, suboptimal. It has decent stats, but what really sells this card are its effects. Non-targeting, non-destruction removal has always been one of the best forms of removal in the game, bypassing many effects that would usually trigger when trying to get rid of a problematic monster. The second part of its first effect probably won't come up as much unless you're running a really specific deck or you're going first, but still, it's always nice to be able to recur some Xyz material to fuel Dingirsu's protection effect, which, once again, is an amazing effect. It isn't a once per turn, and not only does it protect Dingirsu itself, but all other cards on your side of the field, allowing Dingirsu to be a really solid option to go into whether you're going first or second. However, where Dingirsu really shines is within its own archetype, Orcust. At first glance, being rank 8 really seems odd for an Orcust boss monster, since they really have no way of getting level 8 monsters out onto the field. However, since Dingirsu is able to be Xyz summoned using an Orcust Link monster, well, it makes this card stupidly easy to turbo out in any Orcust deck. Xyz summoning Dingirsu isn't the only way to plus off of its effects, however, since its on-summon effect triggers not only when it's Xyz summoned, but just special summon in general. You can potentially abuse it in the next turn after you summon it by using it as link material and then summoning it back with using Symbol Skeleton and then getting a pop-off and putting pressure onto your opponent. You can also summon it back from the banished pile if it ends up there for whatever reason, using World Wand, and once again, putting some pressure onto your opponent. What I really enjoy about this card, however, is that it potentially makes the Phantom Knight variant of Orcust the most powerful build to run, and it's all thanks to the PK Link monster, Rusty Bardiche. When a Dark Xyz monster is summoned to a zone it points to, you can destroy a card your opponent controls. When summoning Dingirsu in conjunction with Rusty Bardiche on the field, you can potentially remove 2 cards from your opponent's field, which can be pretty devastating, especially when you have 2 copies of Fogblade backing you up next turn, plus a potential layer of protection from Dingirsu. Looking at the card as a whole, it's clear that Sheorcust Dingirsu is going to be a powerful card that will give a huge boost to both Orcust and rank 8 decks in general. However, we aren't quite done with the new Orcust support just yet. Orcustrated Climax is a counter-trap card with the following effect. You can only use either this card's first or second effects per turn, and only once that turn. When a spell or trap card or monster effect is activated while you control an Orcust Link monster, negate the activation, and if you do, banish that card. You can banish this card from your graveyard. Add 1 machine monster from your deck or that is banished to your hand. You cannot special summon monsters during the turn you activate this effect except Dark Machine monsters. So Orcust now have access to a better searchable Infernity barrier. I say better because, unlike Infernity Barrier, Climax banishes the negated card instead of sending it to the graveyard, again, helping dodge certain effects that trigger upon hitting the grave. Its effect is really powerful, as it gives Orcust even more staying power when going first, in really any build you can make. However, its second effect acts as a Rhoda from the grave, not just for Orcust monsters, but any Dark Machine monster. A short list of notable candidates for this effect are the entire Orcust Archetype, Cannon Soldier, Cosmo Dark Destroyer, Orbital Hydralander, and the World Legacy monsters. Combining this card with Foolish Burial Goods can give you a decent search from your deck, and even some recovery options for your banished monsters. It's obvious that this card is just absolutely busted, which perhaps the deck really needed it to truly be competitively viable. But I do have one concern with this card, and that's Dingirsu. I feel like this card and Dingirsu sort of clash with each other. You really want to try and end on a board with Dingirsu, but you also really want to have Climax set on your field. Unfortunately, you can only trigger the negation effect if you have an Orcust Link monster on the field, so unless you manage to get both Dingirsu and an Orcust Link on the field, you're not going to be able to fully utilize this card. However, with Symbol Skeleton, the deck does have some good recursion power, so maybe I'm just thinking about this too hard. Well, what do you guys think about the new support Orcust are getting in Dark Neostorm? Has the deck been pushed to a true rogue contender, or would you believe it could even possibly be meta? I'd love to hear your thoughts down in the comments below. And if you enjoy this content and would like to see more, be sure to hit that subscribe button and ring that notification bell down below. And if you have any card that you would like me to review, or deck you would like to see be featured on the channel, let me know in the comments. Until next time, guys, this is Dylan the Shaddoll Duelist, signing out.